Talk about some trade news that was just released and how it could affect the Lakers in a good way. Desmond Bane was just traded from the Grizzlies to the Orlando Magic for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a Lakers favorite from the 2020 championship team. Cole Anthony, the number 16 pick this year, a 2026 unprotected first from either Washington, Phoenix, or the Magic, a 2028 first, a 2029 first swap, top 2 protected, a 2030 first. And that is a haul for Memphis. Where to start? So, on Orlando's side, it makes sense because they were in last in 3-point percentage last year. And if we look at Desmond Bane, he shot 41% on 6 threes a game over his career. Last year, he shot 39% from 3 on 6 threes a game. So he's obviously a really good scorer. So, yeah, I mean, it's a decent trade for them. So, I mean, he's also a two-way player, and that makes him even more valuable to them. So they also got to keep their young core together. So turning draft picks and a bad contract, no disrespect to KCP, into probably the best 3-and-D player available isn't bad for them. So when you think about it, that's pretty much more than what the Lakers gave up to get Luka. But that also depends on how you value Anthony Davis as well. So there's that. The biggest thing of value, though, is probably that right there. Because that could be a top 3 pick pretty easily. So Kevin Durant is going to be traded any day now, and depending on what they get for KD, they could bottom out. So yeah, if they do, I mean, like I said, that's either Washington or Phoenix's pick. So that could easily be a top 3 pick. So that's definitely the most valuable thing they got in that entire trade. But one of these picks has to do with KCP's contract because it is a negative value contract. I'll show you what it looks like. He's got $43 million left on his contract, and next year's a player option. And he's definitely picking that up. Last year, look at his averages. Last year, he averaged 9 points a game, 34% from 3, and 44% overall. And he's known as a shooter. The reason why people sign him every year is because he's a shooter for shooting, literally for shooting. That's the reason why he gets the contracts he gets, is for that reason, and for defense, but mainly for shooting. So he's getting $21 million a year to be a bad shooter, basically. So that's not good. But yeah, trading for KCP makes me think that Memphis may be rebuilding because no one takes on a negative contract to get assets if they're trying to contend, which is a really good thing for the Lakers because we need a big, and Jaren Jackson Junior is one of my main targets outside of Nick Claxton and Jared Allen. So Jaren Jackson Junior shot 49%, 37% from 3. That's pretty good for a big. Last season, 22 points a game, 1.5 blocks, 1 steal. That's really good for a big. 35% over his entire career on 5 threes a game. That's really good. So yeah, and he 74 games last year, so that shows he can actually stay on the floor. So it would be nice to have a actual starting center. And that's why I like Jared Allen and Nick Claxton, because they show the consistency like that too. And as we all know, availability is the best ability. The only issue that I have with Nick Claxton is he's one of the worst free throw shooters in the entire NBA, but it's another conversation for another day. He's Jaren Jackson Junior has always been great at blocks. He was the leader, obviously, in 2022 and 2023. So that's the good, is the defense. The bad is that. So he is a stretch center. That's the thing with him. That's the reason why he's getting so little rebounds. But that may change a little bit in LA, considering we need more of a true center, especially someone that's more of a lob threat for Luka. So he may play a little bit closer to the basket like he did earlier in his career. But we also have to think that he's always had a big with him that was garnering a lot of rebounds. He had Zach Edey last year. He had Steven Adams with him before that, and Steven Adams played 25 minutes a night in Memphis in his couple seasons, and he played there. Memphis has always been a really good rebounding team as a whole as well, which takes up a lot too. So, and, I mean, including even Ja Morant, and he's averaging 5 rebounds a game for the last 3 years before they got Zach Edey. So I don't know the statistics of it, but I'm pretty sure that's got to be in like the 80th percentile for point guards. So JJJ will likely average more rebounds in LA than he did in Memphis because of our extreme need for rebounding. So I'm not terribly worried about that. And also he's only being paid $23 million this year, and he's on an expiring contract, so it wouldn't be that hard to match. Unlike someone like a DeAndre Ayton or something like that would be very hard to match. So, and what's great about the Magic trade is that means we could potentially do it without Austin Reeves. And the reason why for that is because of the fact that they're rebuilding and they don't need him. So before that Desmond Bane trade, I was thinking there's no way we could get it done without Austin Reeves. So I didn't think that they were rebuilding at the time, because when you have someone like Ja Morant and his personality, you don't really want to rebuild unless you're going to trade him, because he's probably not going to re-sign with you, or at some point he'll just request a trade. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. So if we were to trade Austin, it would look something like this right here. So Austin, Gabe, and Dalton, or Austin, Gabe, and take Dalton out, and Austin, Gabe, and a first-round pick. Either one of those would be fine, but if Memphis asked for Austin, Gabe, Dalton, and a first-round pick, I would 100% turn that down, because we can't give away everything for a center, because we need to have assets to get other things. One thing we have to keep in mind is Austin is also on an expiring deal this year. He can walk away for nothing if he doesn't sign an extension, and he likely won't, because it doesn't make sense for him financially, because he's outplayed that contract by a lot. So the Lakers do have to be open-minded about trading Austin, because it will be catastrophic if we lose Austin for nothing like we lost Dwight Howard for nothing. So it depends on how confident the Lakers are that they can re-sign him for how much. If Austin comes to them and says, hey, I want to be a Laker forever, I will re-sign with you, I promise I will re-sign, then keep Austin. I would love to have Austin and Luka together after LeBron retires. Austin, Luka, and Jaren Jackson Junior or something like that. That would be fantastic. But if not, then I'm fine with trading Austin, because I don't want to lose him for nothing, because that would be catastrophic. So it depends on how confident they are that they can re-sign him. And recent history shows that the current Lakers leadership ends up not re-signing good players when those players ask for what they feel is too much money. Like, we lost Julius Randle because they felt he was asking for too much money. We lost Alex Caruso because they felt that he was asking for too much money. Julius Randle is the best player behind Anthony Edwards in the Western Conference Finals on Minnesota's this year. Alex Caruso, he's about to win a second championship probably. So, I mean, that's like... But after that Desmond Bane trade, I think we could probably get him for Rui, Gabe, and Dalton, and a first. I think that would probably be more of what the deal would be for Jaren Jackson Junior, because they probably want assets more than anything. So Dalton Connect and a first round pick. That gets them draft capital, a great young player, and an $18 million expiring salary. I know it seems like too little for Jaren Jackson Jr. because they got 4 firsts and a swap for Desmond Bane, but the thing is, Desmond Bane had 4 more years under contract. Jaren Jackson Jr. is on an expiring contract. Generally, people that are on expiring contracts do not garner as much in trades as people on longer contracts, and he has 4 years left. That's a long time. So that's the difference, and I don't think anybody's going to offer someone more than what a Rui Dalton Connect gave Vincent first round pick, because that's like what Rui's worth, a first round pick. Dalton Connect obviously a first round pick, and we're giving them a first round pick, so that's 3 firsts, and you could make the argument that Rui's even just a second. So you're still getting 2 firsts with Dalton and a first round pick anyways. So realistically, that be a fair trade all around, regardless of anything. So that's a great trade for both of us. It would fit our timeline, and it would seemingly fit theirs after trading away Desmond Bane for basically assets. So we'll see what else they do for the rest of the summer and find out. They've been saying that they're not trading Ja Morant and they're not trading Jaren Jackson Jr., but everybody says that because they want to raise the trade value. Obviously, they're not going to trade Ja Morant because his trade value is very low right now. But they may trade Jaren Jackson Jr. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. also is not eligible for a Supermax anymore because he didn't make an All-NBA team. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. also is not going to sign an extension there. So he's going to be going to free agency, so they probably will trade him. So them saying that they're not going to trade him, I don't believe that. I think they're just trying to inflate his trade value. So we'll see what they do. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know who you think won the deal. I think the Grizz won it. Seems like a bit of an overpay to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's hugely appreciated and it helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching. Until next time.